We all have different standards when we're deciding what is a favorite or other trash for us. Everyone has different lives, different goals and different dreams. Therefore, our values differ from each other. This applies to art too, especially with an art form like anime that has almost no boundaries. Deciding the best anime episode of all time mostly depends on the question, what do you look for in an episode? For many people, the episode where the story peaks would deserve the title. In the end, the better the build-up, the harder the climax hits. Some examples would be Vinland Saga 24, Kaguya-sama Season 3 finale, 272 from Bleach, or the one I'd go with, which is Hunter x Hunter episode 131. These episodes all have satisfying payoffs that had everyone go on their phone and
Oh my god.
Askeladd and Ulquiorra are some of my favorite antagonists in anime, and the episodes I just mentioned include both of their conclusions. Ulquiorra finally understanding what human heart is, and Askeladd serving as an anchor point in Thorfinn's character arc. Love is War finally giving us the moment we've been waiting for since episode 1, and lastly, Chimera and Tark's climax. Every single arc, little by little, we saw how Gon thinks and acts. With that as the build-up, episode 131 established Gon's character. A person who has insane amount of potential and skill, but also someone who is still a kid. Someone who still needs to grow. Well, that's all I can say without spoiling, so yeah. On the other hand, some people might prefer a perfectly adapted episode with spectacular directing, animation and musical score. An adaptation should elevate the source material, not just copy it and make it colorful with music. Some episodes that I'd say are perfectly adapted would be One Piece 1015, Demon Slayer Season 2 Episode 10, Naruto Shippuden Episode 478, and the list goes on. These are all episodes that managed to surpass their source material with using the elements that make anime. Like, just look at how Megumi Ishitani used Prometheus as a source of light to create this tense atmosphere with Kaido and Big Mom looking like absolute beasts. Or this scene where Sasuke finally gives up thanks to Talk no Jutsu.
俺の負けだ。
These kinds of creative decisions are needed by every adaptation that aims to elevate its source material. You can also go with episodes that have epic plot twists, such as these two AOT episodes, or the finale of Code Geass, an episode that made you cry, or a standalone episode, etc. My point is, it all depends on your preference, just like everything else. So I, the man who spits nothing but facts, would go with an episode that represents the very core of that show. An episode that can single-handedly tell the viewer what that show is all about. And this certain episode holds the very soul of Gintama. Plus, it has all the things I just mentioned earlier. Episode 305 of Gintama is what I'd call the best anime episode of all time. Like most long-running shonen series, Gintama also has a really large cast with lots of incredible characters. As a story, I think the cast of Gintama is probably its strongest point. However, episode 305 is revolved around only two characters, Gintoki, the one who protects, and Takasugi, the one who destroys. We got two people that are fighting for two completely different reasons. So far you probably think that, well, the good guy fighting the bad guy to protect his friends is an ordinary thing to happen in anime. But to understand the concepts of protecting and destroying through Gintoki and Takasugi's perspectives, we should first talk about the notion of being a samurai. Gintoki and Takasugi both admired the same person, their sensei Yoshida Shoyo. He gave them somewhere they can call home, people they can bond with, and most of all, he taught them the meaning of being a samurai, which is to protect what is precious for them. But when it came down to it, Gintoki was the only one who actually understood Shoyo. Even though he had to carry the burden, even at the cost of becoming hollow, Gintoki still protected his sensei's legacy. As he carried the burden of protecting, he kept smiling, and at some point, he was rewarded for it. Takasugi, on the other hand, completely dismissed his sensei's teachings, and he filled that void with hatred and rage. And this leads us to their legendary confrontation. Just like every other fight in the series, our main character, Gintoki's only drive is to protect something. That something being the soul of Takasugi his sensei once cherished. On the contrary, Takasugi is trying to destroy the idea of the burden Gintoki has been carrying. He knows he would have done the exact same thing if he was in Gintoki's place, but he cannot accept the idea of himself doing it. He hates himself because he would have carried the burden too. So he's trying to destroy Gintoki, his alter ego, who stands as the proof. This whole fight scene is Takasugi using everything he has to externalize his self-hatred and Gintoki trying to protect him as he states at the end of the episode.
俺は吉田松陽の弟子坂田銀時だ
One student succumbed to despair, but the other one kept believing, kept hoping better days will come and eventually skies will clear up. And to me that's what Gintama and Gintoki's journey is all about. Presenting the parallel between hope and despair in the best way possible. Like, this is peak fiction, bro. Like, nah, bro. Nah, this is too much. My brain can't process how